Hello all, and this is Onwards and Upwards here. Well, calling myself my own layout is a bit silly, I guess, but I guess it beats saying my real name. Now, I got a bit of an interesting one because I've been mainly doing like small freight locos, as in my last one, as well as tank engines and passenger locomotives, mainly. But I figure, why not go for one of Britain's biggest? The 9F. And not just any 9F. Oh, okay. Yeah, the barcode is covered because when I got it, the packaging was a bit big for the box, a bit small for the box, so that's part of the packaging. I got it in the post. But yes, here we go. Standard 9F, evening start in British Railways green. Late crest, naturally. Sorry, got a bit of a frog in my throat today, so if you hear me, if you hear my voice go, it's understandable. We'll just place the logo there. Now, with Bachmann, this is a bit of an older model, I admit, but you get the nice little postcard bit there with history on the back, as well as a nice diagram of the locomotive. And inside we have the usual guarantee slip, collector's card, club card, and the one bit you always need, the exploded diagram. There's my voice again. Now, I'm missing the fake coal load, but it's alright. I really can't argue. It does not hinder its performance. And these styrofoam packs are a bit of a bother sometimes. Yes, you do need a pair of tweezers at times. We'll just get to the details. First off, we got these beautifully etched nameplates as well as maker's plates. Voice going again, sorry. I'll just put that back in that card piece as we have a look at the detail bag. Now, I haven't really had a proper look at these in a while, so forgive me if I meander on a bit, but inside we got nice wee steps here, which I believe go on the front of the running board. Cylinder drain pipes, as well as some fake 3-link couplers, which are quite solid, I might add, but needless to say, it's all there, which is most of what I can say compared to some of my second-hand buys. But yes, we'll just pop this out of the container. Now, this is the first time I'm doing it with the container in view instead of stop pausing it and stuff like that. But here we go. Look at that livery. And the rivet detail, you can feel the rivets. Coal load, well, it's gone in. The fake one's gone, but maybe I'll put a real coal load in there one day when I have the courage to do it. I mean, look at that. That's a nice view right there. And yes, that hole is not, the hole here is not that big, so I use a toothpick because my big fat fingers. Nice little hole here. As you can see with the toothpick, it's, oh hello, deeper than I thought. Well, you can fit fire irons in there, I guess. Nicely applied livery on the back. And it's a bit tricky to see from the camera, but if the focus actually works, which it's clearly not, annoyingly, bother, but on the back of the tender you can see the tender type badge, and the tender type badge there. And 5,000 gallons, I think that says, yeah. Sprung buffers, of course, and as well as a NEM tension link coupler. Now underneath you get brake detailing. I had to fit myself. No tender pickups, of course. but you also get this nice water scoop there. Now I believe Ratio do a nice scenic piece for your track where you can actually add water troughs to your layout. And I know that's not on the rails, right, but bear with me, because it is a bit of a dawdle to get it on without the loco. And if you heard meowing about a minute ago, that was my cat. I might add. The troublesome little Moggy, I like to call him. But here we go. Nice big 9, and she's quite heavy. She is quite heavy. Nice NEM coupling at the front here. Judging, no, is that it? No, I think that's the spring. Nothing to do with power. So yes, nice Wall-Shops valve gear. Beautifully well done. I mean, look at all that metal work. Lovely piping and livery. A nice solid running board. I mean, oh, wow. I thought my Merchant Navy had a solid run board. And just holding it like this, you can see why they were called spaceships. Look at the space between the running board and the frames. Wow. Nice big firebox. Lovely. Applied lettering. Now we look in the cab, and again, I know the light's really bad out. Just grab my little torch. And there we go. Well, at least the gauges are painted. At least the gauges are painted, I guess, but needless to say, there is room for a crew in the cab. Now we go on the under detail of it, and you can see the flangel center wheels that are distinctive to 9Fs. And maybe a few industrial tanks, depending on where they are. But what I really like is from the motor, the motor drives 2 of these wheels, not just one set like on a normal locomotive. There's another gear going off the first driving set to the other. So it drives 2, which means you get the full power. And unlike the Peppercorn A1, one go, beautiful. Unlike the Peppercorn A1, I can have this 9F set at its closest coupling with the tender. If I tried it with the Peppercorn A1, it would not get round the first corner. Now, you would be thinking, a big, long wheelbase locomotive like this, there's no way on earth it would get past the dreaded Hornby curve point. And normally I would say you're right, because look at the curvature on that. It would be a bit tight for such a long wheelbase loco. But, and I do happily say this, you're wrong. It does indeed go around the curves. First of all, we'll just get a bit of slow running action from the loco. Just move the camera in frame a bit more so we can see that valve gear. And yeah, a bit of motor noise, but I'm guessing with all that metal work in the rotting, naturally it should be a bit stiff. Now, if we can just see how she does over the point work, which means releasing the camera from the jig and following the loco. Speed it up a bit. Ooh, she finds it a bit tight, but loco's making it round. And fights loose. And it is quite a strong loco, and I just may have given a hint of what the next loco review is going to be if you did not just notice that box. But yes, I'll just speed up the loco's return. Whoop. That's what I like with locos with quite a bit of weight in them. They can actually move at a decent rate. And whoops, knocked the camera a fair bit there. My bad. Whoops. And I just loosened the jig a bit too much too. Whoops. That was a big mistake on my behalf. But yeah, quite smooth running. No issues on the curves. And I've actually seen, I can't remember his name, James Simpson, I think it was, something like that. He's got quite a small layout, I think maybe even a bit smaller than mine. In the UK, he runs mainly, from what I've seen, 6-couple locos. And he ran one of these on his layout, and even he was surprised of how well it ran. And he had all the chances to make different takes of it and stuff like that, and I'm just surprised how nice it is. The lining, the performance, because at the loco, my bad, the local model club, where I have to double head a passenger train, this one tackles it alone. Not because it has 10 driving wheels, but because it can keep the power going. And I just love that. I just really love that. And to show a sort of an example, just grab my trusty railer, move the 9F forward, because I think the heaviest loco I got on the layout at the moment is maybe my lovely Grizzly V2 Green Arrow in British Railways Lake Crest. So naturally going to be a dark green loco, like so. There it is, perched on the railer nicely. Not going to bother touching it. Instead, I'm going to let Evening Star do the work for me. That's if the tender hook allows it. Gotta watch those coupling hooks. Okay, I believe that's the tender hooked up. Hang on. Ah, bother, not quite, the hooks went each way. There we go. Now then, I just give it a push. Oops. Gotta get direction right. And there we go. And just to show I'm not touching it, here's my hands. Oops. Got on that dodgy point again. One end up, give it a yank. Do not, and I repeat, do not take that silly phrase to heart. But yes, both in nice line deliveries, and I'll get on to the V2 on a different date. I'll get to the V2 on a different date, as a Green Arrow here, like her real life counterpart, needs a thorough overhaul. And I know I'll probably get some comments saying, yeah, she's just stuffed and mounted at the National Railway Museum, which I think is a bit sad for a locomotive. Just to be stuffed and mounted, not to be approached anymore. That's a bit eerie in my book, because a couple of years ago I helped volunteer work on a steam locomotive that is currently 140 years old. Yeah, there's quite a bit of weight in that loco to make it keep going. But yeah, and I think this might be one of my quickest reviews yet. And I think this might be the first time I give a rating on a locomotive. So on a scale from 0 to 10, well, I think the loco class says it all. A solid 9. Thank you all for watching. This is Upwell and Onwards, saying good night. And If I get enough subscribers or views or likes on a certain video, I may upload a blooper reel, as if I don't goof up enough on the takes. Thank you very much. Sayonara.